Welcome to another Elder Scrolls lore video. I've decided to make today's video on an aspect of the Elder Scrolls lore that I think is quite interesting, simply because of the large amount of mystery surrounding it. This subject, of course, being the dwemmer, but more specifically, one of their creations, that I imagine a lot of you who have played the Elder Scrolls games will know. This creation is the Dwarven Centurion. To begin with, a Dwarven Centurion is a large mechanical enemy that is generally encountered in dwemer ruins. They act as protectors to various places that the dwemer do not want just anyone getting into. For example, there is one of these guardians guarding the dwemer's entrance to Blackreach. They are also, of course, just used to fight in general as well. A Dwarven Centurion is classed as an animunculi. Very little is known about how Dwarven Centurions, along with the other animunculi, are actually animated, but it is thought that they may possibly be animated through a combination of clockwork and magic. The magic being the soul gems they carry, and potentially the magic may be in their dynamo core, as the Centurion dynamo core is actually used with the Daedric armor. The Centurion's giant bodies cause them to move quite slowly, but despite how slow they are, their attacks deal a lot of damage. This makes them extremely dangerous when they are within melee range. Centurions are also known to still function underwater. They simply walk through it as they cannot swim, but they don't just collapse. It's not like typical electronics. Moving on to combat against the Dwarven Centurions, these guardians prefer to stay close to their target because, as said before, they can deal their heavy-hitting attacks at close range. Like the other animunculi, the Centurions have a high damage resistance, but I imagine it is simply due to their size that their resistance is much higher. It is worth mentioning that, like most animunculi, the Centurions also seem to have a weakness to fire. The Centurions are also able to use a scalding steam attack, which can also deal a lot of damage. Other than this, their only attack is their melee attack. This steam may in fact even have magical properties, as its damage can be reduced if your resistance to magic is higher. Another point about this steam attack is that the Centurion is unable to move its head whilst attacking with it, so you can move out of the way and get some hits in from the back. And also, if you're close enough to this Centurion, it can't actually hit you with the steam attack. So if it begins to attack you with this steam, you know that it's going to be locked in place. You can run up to it with a shield or something, and then just attack it from there, and it can't do anything till its attack stopped. And when the Centurion uses its melee attack, it can be dodged, and if it is, the Centurion is actually thrown off balance. It will then recover after a few seconds, but in those few seconds, a lot of damage can be dealt to it. I think the main reason it gets thrown off balance is simply because of how big it is and how much power is in each of its hits. The Dwarven Centurions are also equipped with both an axe and shield. They use both of these to inflict damage, and they are also able to perform a sweeping spin, which can deal quite a lot of damage, and that's if you are within its radius. One final point about these Guardians' combat is that arrows do work against them, even though they aren't particularly effective. It's kind of like trying to cut a log in half by firing multiple arrows at it, as opposed to just hacking away at it with the sword. The sword's going to be quicker. In Skyrim, there are three types of Dwarven Centurion: the Dwarven Centurion, the Dwarven Centurion Guardian, and the Dwarven Centurion Master. Their general strength and resistance increases in the order I just said. The only visible difference with these Centurions is with the Dwarven Centurion Master, as it appears to have a lot more armor. There is also one unique Dwarven Centurion, known as the Forge Master, and this is a unique boss that was added in the Dawnguard DLC. Instead of spitting steam, this Centurion instead spits fire. It is also much more resistant to fire, but weaker to frost. If you want to know how to find this Centurion, it can be encountered on the quest Lost to the Ages. I'll probably make a full video on this unique Centurion in the future, just as I think it's quite interesting. I will also make videos on all the other Dwarven contraptions and things like that, as honestly, I think this is quite an interesting subject. The Dwemer completely disappeared from Tamriel, and we never know what happened to them, but all this stuff that they made was left behind in the world. So I just honestly find the Dwemer really interesting, and I hope you've all enjoyed today's video. As always guys, if you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to like it. It really does help me out. As I'm sure a lot of you know because other YouTubers mention it, January is not the best month for YouTubers, but I'm going to continue making videos as honestly I just really enjoy doing it, so be sure to like today's video just to support me. Also, if this is the first video you're finding on my channel, be sure to subscribe. I do Witcher lore videos every week. I alternate an Elder Scrolls and Middle-earth lore video every week. It was meant to be Middle-earth today, but I actually decided to do Elder Scrolls. I said that it would be kind of random, the alternation. I could do 2 Middle-earth, or I could do 2 Elder Scrolls, or so on and so on and so on, but it's kind of like my free lore video day, if you get what I mean. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see those sort of videos. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter. I do updates on there whenever any new videos come out, so say if the video comes out, I'll post it on Twitter, and it will also come out in subscriptions, obviously, but sometimes YouTube doesn't send that to you, so following me on Twitter will actually let you know, just in case. It's sort of like a second way, just to make sure. And also, I post stuff on Twitter just generally, so if you're interested in that, want to support me, go and follow me on there. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitch. I will stream at some point, I'm not sure when. I will get back to it, but we'll see when. But if you follow me on there, you will know when I do go live, as you'll get a notification on your phone or whatever your Twitch email is. Also, be sure to join the Discord and Reddit. In the Discord, we have chats pretty much every day. There's an RP chat in there, there's a normal general chat, there's pictures, there's music, there's loads of stuff. So be sure to join there if you want to have some fun with that. And also, on the Reddit, you can post whatever you want. I generally have a look at it, check the rules to see if it's cool and all the rest, but all I say in this outro is down the description, so go and check all these things out. Finally guys, as always, a big thank you to the Patreon pledges. You guys are honestly amazing, it's very kind what you do. I just want to say thank you to every single one of these names, as you genuinely help out the channel so much, so thank you all so much. Anyway guys, I hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have an awesome rest of the week.